Oh boy. You know, the last video I uploaded, I was looking into Twitch's biggest mystery. And boy, I didn't know that 48 hours later, the mystery would pretty much be resolved by the horse's mouth themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Disrespect and his wife, also known as the two-timing champion. And now some could consider Dr. Disrespecting what could be the age of consent, depending on where you live. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to give you guys a full follow-up into what has happened, you know, last time we looked at this, we looked at, Dr. Disrespect's ban 4 years ago off of Twitch, and realistically, every single party associated with this pretty much kept quiet. Until, of course, as you all know, a couple days ago, when one user came out, the former, I believe, director of strategic partnerships at Twitch, pretty much said that, yeah, the guy was messaging minors. Now, there wasn't actually any evidence, but, the doctor didn't really do much to alleviate his symptoms, because he pretty much just said outright, look, no wrongdoing has been acknowledged. They paid me out in full, bro. Now, we all know legalese, right? Like, you've been around this channel long enough to know we know how to peek through the legal speak. And that, my ladies and gentlemen, is the most legal speak I've ever heard. Now, when it comes to NDAs, I know I've signed a whole bunch of them throughout my time on YouTube and in the professional real world. And let me tell you something right now. There is no NDA in the world that says if you've been accused of talking to minors on the internet, you can't just sit on the internet and not defend yourself. You are allowed to 100% defend yourself. Now, as NDAs naturally expire, a lot of this information seems to be coming out. Now, did Dr. Disrespect speak to a minor? Yeah, according to him, he did. Let's actually read this, by the way, too, because I'm actually disgusted reading it. Like, I know that I'm making jokes right now, but the reason I'm making this video is not because this is an allegation. This is an actual serious, disgusting situation where I truly believe this scumbag needs to be banned off of the platforms that he's on, because I consider him to be a danger to people that are minors. So let's read this. Hello, I'd like to make a quick statement. Let's cut the BS. As you all know, there's no filter with me. I've always been upfront and real with you guys. You know, the guy that plays a character and speaks in legalese. Okay. I'm always willing to accept responsibility, which is why I'm here now. All right, let's go. Cool. Let's do it. So first and foremost, I want to apologize to everyone in my community, as well as those close to me, my team, and everyone at Midnight Society Game Studio. Now, for those of you who don't know, the reason why this situation has taken a very, very dark turn is that the company he owned, Midnight Society, where they were making this like NFT vertical looter shooter game, I believe it's Dead Drop, they ended up actually like basically cutting ties with him. And they straight up said, we assumed his innocence and began speaking with parties involved. And in order to maintain our principles and standards as a studio and individuals, we needed to act. For this reason, we're terminating our relationship with Guy Beam immediately. While these facts are difficult to hear and are even more difficult to accept, it is our duty to act with dignity on behalf of all individuals involved. Especially the 55 developers. Let's be fucking real. The studio's dead in the water. Without the face of the company, their game is not going to succeed. Now, obviously, this is pretty scary. Now, a lot of people have asked for proof about these situations, and I agree. There should be proof before we call somebody, the P word by any stretch of the imagination, obviously. But it's kind of scary when professional relationships get cut this quickly, especially when the studio you co-founded and you are basically one of the co-owners of, when they boot you out, it's not a good look, okay? If I had these kind of allegations and like the companies that I was a part of decided to oust me and remove me, that would be a pretty bad look on my part. So let's go back to Dr. Disrespect's statement here. A lot of people have been left in the dark about what happened yesterday with Midnight Society, and we made the painful decision collectively to have me step down. So here he says the team is great and everything. Bro, that was not the same statement. Those guys straight up said they believed you were innocent, and now after they looked at the facts again, oh boy, they are disgusted by these facts. So yeah, this is obviously such a weird PR statement to write. Again, when a guy says that they're real and you read shit like this, they're not fucking real, okay? They're not absolutely in reality land. You can literally look at the other post and see that there's a clear discrepancy. So everyone has been wanting to know why I was banned from Twitch. That's true, I wanted to know too. For the reasons outside my control, I was not allowed to say anything for the last several years. Now that two former employees have publicly disclosed the accusations, I cannot tell you my side of the story regarding the ban. This is where the juicy shit is. Were there Twitch whisper messages with an individual back in 2017? Yeah. Whoa, hold on. You're like Muda with an individual? Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to take you to it. This tweet's been edited. A lot. Okay? In fact, the first version of this post said individual minor, not an individual. So, boys, let's whip out the diff checker, okay? Now, for anybody that doesn't know what a diff check is, in computer science mumbo jumbo, we can check what changed in a file. So, looking at the first post and the second post, there's been one change. The word minor got removed. Now, this is where I believe Dr. Disrespect might be completely fucking stupid, because you could have just deleted this post and re-put it up there. This just makes you look really, really, really disgusting. Why would you remove the word minor? Like, why? Why would you obfuscate the age or, like, you know, the threshold of someone's age? Now we know it's clearly a minor. The answer is yeah. So the guy was talking to minors. Okay. Were there real intentions behind these messages? The answer is absolutely not. So what, was blood just yapping? Was that what we were supposed to see? These were casual, mutual conversations that sometimes lean too much in the direction of being inappropriate. What the fuck do you mean leaned in the direction of being inappropriate? Like, what does that even mean? Okay, you know, I've spoken to, like, minors who interact with me on my platform, okay? You know, people in the community, they reach out to me. It's like, hey, Muda, I'm, like, in high school. I'm graduating. I want to be in cybersecurity. I want to learn about computers. What certification should I get? Muda, can you help me with virtual machines? I get messages like that, and I'll respond back to any minor in my platform, and I'll tell them stuff. Like, that's a very, 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 very key difference. That's not inappropriate at all. What is inappropriate is if you start building relationships and you start asking them to meet out with you and you start to get maybe a little too degenerate, so to speak. That is inappropriate. There's like such a binary difference between appropriate conversations and inappropriate conversations, especially when it comes to being a minor. This guy is a fucking sack of shit. At least be upfront and at least talk about this stuff. So he says nothing more, nothing illegal happened. No pictures were shared, thank God. No crimes were committed. I never even met the individual. Again, what were these conversations that lean too much in the direction of being inappropriate? I wonder. I went through a lengthy arbitration regarding a civil dispute with Twitch, and that case was resolved by a settlement. Let me be clear. It was not a criminal case against me, and no criminal charges have ever been brought against me. Okay? But, like, you just admitted to talking to a minor, in some cases, inappropriately. And what's even wilder, too, is that at no point does he even actually say in this entire mention that I didn't even know this person was a minor at the time. Like, it's insane. There's not even a denial in that front either. Like, he didn't even say, you know, I didn't know this person was under 18 at the time I was even messaging them. And you'd think that, you know, covering a statement like this, that would be imperative if it were actually true. So that's another red flag here. Like, what in the... What? Now, from a moral standpoint, I'll absolutely take responsibility. I should have never entertained these conversations to begin with. That's on me. Yeah, you're the adult in the situation. You know, if any minor comes and interacts with me in a dirty manner like this, it's an immediate block. Like, it's not even a thought to think. You know, the easiest part about making content on the internet is just not getting involved with minors. For some reason, these creators just can't understand that. So that's on me as an adult, a husband, and a father. Bro, I hate this shit so much. How are you going to write a husband and a father? Like, the dude cheats on his wife, and now he's getting caught texting inappropriately with minors by their own admission. How can you pretend to be the loving dad and the husband? The dude's a scumbag. It should have never happened. I get it. I'm not perfect, and I'll own my shit. This was stupid. You know, there's a lot of dumb shit that I know people do, because obviously human beings are not perfect. We all make dumb mistakes. Inappropriately talking to a minor over the internet, when you say sometimes lean too much, meaning it happened more than once on plenty of occasions, apparently, that's not, that should never have happened. There are some things that I firmly believe should not happen. There are some lines you don't cross, and when you cross those lines, you're a disgusting person, and this is just one of those lines. With all this said, don't get it mistaken. I've seen all the remarks and labels being thrown around so loosely. Social media is a destruction zone. I'm no predator or pedo. Are you kidding me? Anyone that truly knows me knows where I stand on those things and those type of people. That's a different kind of disgust that I hate even talking about. Don't even label me as the worst of the worst. Bro, what you just described yourself as, it's already disgusting, okay? Now, I'm not going to go as far and say, you know, this guy's like the Epstein of, like, Twitch gaming or something like that. But talking inappropriately to a minor, bro, there's no coming back from that. Like, the guy is, in my opinion, he's a danger. How can you, as a father, make that statement and then still try to, like, fucking puff your chest out and talk like this? Like, you're a disgusting freak, okay? You're a danger to children, in my opinion, and you should be far away from them. You should be far away from interacting with any child. You should be far away from being a YouTube or Twitch streamer. That, right, in my opinion, if I was running this platform, that is the one line you just don't cross, okay? But trust me when I say this, to all my haters that live and breathe social media with zero real life experience, I don't give a shit about you. Well, I have real life experience, with the world. Am I a hater? No, I'm just really, really disappointed. I don't really have the energy to hate people. I'm just disgusted at the freak that this guy is. Finally, if you're comfortable with this entire statement and think I'm a piece of shit, that's fine, but I'm not going anywhere. Guy was literally talking about going on vacation, and sure, he might still be, but that's pretty much what it comes down to. So, yeah, not a good look. Not a good situation. Now, I feel like in the last few days, the amount of people that have been defending this guy, because they thought maybe the woke mob was after him for whatever reason. Bro, this is his own words. His own company ousted him. There was no mob. Like, the guy literally admitted, and I'm glad that he admitted it. I'm glad that he outright just said that he was speaking inappropriately in some cases, in certain cases, to a minor individual. So, at the end of the day, this is just a gross thing to be doing. And there is no defense for this kind of behavior. And I firmly believe, like, as, even on YouTube, like, this guy shouldn't even be streaming anywhere. Like, what is proven is if you are interacting in a negative fashion with anybody that is a minor, you are not to be trusted on any social media platform whatsoever. Now, last time we talked about this a day or two ago, I mentioned that this whole situation was weird because, this got settled in court. Twitch paid out the remainder of the contract, which makes me kind of wonder if this had happened and Twitch had full understanding of this, why not just outright get involved with the law enforcement agencies? And sure, there's a minor involved, and maybe they didn't want to have the cops and they didn't want to have this whole like trial and traumatize a child. That absolutely makes sense the more I think about it. But to understand, I really feel like in the last 4 years, if this was common knowledge and understanding, protecting a victim is one thing. But realistically, what Twitch did and what like this whole case did was actually protect, in my opinion, a bad person. This guy got to be on YouTube and make millions of dollars and build an even bigger fan base and interact with God knows what else, right? Like maybe he was talking to another person that might have been a minor. We don't know. He admitted to this instance. And, statistically, it's not always just the one incident, right? At least that's my personal perception. I have no, I have no proof to say that this happened more than this one instance. But again, I don't trust this guy. And I think like for a lot of these court cases to be settled, I think ultimately they protected this guy for 4 years. This guy basically got to operate for 4 years until finally these NDAs started drying up and this whole situation just started getting leaked out. Now, I think that there's way more down the pipeline. I think by Saturday, by Sunday, this whole situation will become one of the biggest things in media, like gaming history. But, ultimately I have a lot of questions for Twitch. I have a lot of questions for Amazon. If this situation played out the same way, if these inappropriate messages happened and a minor was exposed, how much guilt falls onto Twitch? And ultimately, like, there's got to be guilt that's shared between the platform holder keeping this silent, I wonder why Twitch and Discord, while they banned him at the time years ago, why this wasn't maybe relayed to other social media services, When EDP got banned, it wasn't just a ban off of YouTube, it was a ban on TikTok, it was a ban off everything for having these kind of allegations towards him. When Alex Jones got banned pretty much systemically on every single app within like a day, it was because these guys talked to each other. So I'm wondering why Amazon and Twitch, I get it, NDAs, gag orders, but if you truly felt that there was this, really scary situation with this guy messaging what appeared to be a minor, an individual minor, in a seemingly inappropriate manner at times, you should have relayed this to other sites. Like, this is just disgusting behavior. And ultimately, I don't think there's any coming back for somebody like Dr. Disrespect. I think if you actually sit down and ride and die for this guy, you probably are the kind of person that should absolutely be investigated by law enforcement themselves too. Truly disgusting behavior. It's not something I would ever wanted to see, but ultimately it is what it is. The guy is gross, the guy is disgusting, and honestly, should never be respected. But that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Mutahar, and yeah, I'm out.